In this video, I'm going to cover how to use the filter function to filter a data frame such that you could pull out just certain rows from that data frame. So first things first, you're going to need the dplyr package. So you're going to have to install said package. So the code's pretty simple. Install .packages, and then you're going to need to add quotes, then dplyr. And I'm not actually going to run this code because I've already installed it, but I will need to actually call dplyr up from the library. So that would be library. And now you don't need the quotes this time. LYR. So here it is, and it lets me know, hey, look, we're masking these other functions, and it was built under this version. All right. So what dplyr lets us do is if we have a data frame, like say the teaching method data set that we've been working with a lot, where you have a teaching method, old and new, bio-sex, and then a pretest score and a post-test score in different columns, you may have a condition where you need only the male participants or only the female participants isolated, such that you could run specific subgroup statistics on them. dplyr lets us do that. So the function that we need to use is filter. The first argument we need to input in that function is the name of the data frame we're working with. So in this case, teaching method experiment. The second argument that we need to indicate is the condition that we're going to be using for subsetting the data. In other words, we need to tell R which rows we want, and we do this by specifying some type of logic test. So let's say we only wanted to pull out all the male participants. So biological sex equals, and note that we're using two equal signs here. Two equal signs is R's equivalent of check if this is equal to. One equal sign is actually set this equal to. So we need two equal signs and then male. So if we were to run this code, here we can see that it creates this new data frame for us. Now we didn't save it to an R object. That's next. Where it only has all the male participants. You could do the same thing if you wanted all the female participants. Or perhaps you wanted everyone who actually had something based on the teaching method. So the new teaching method or the old teaching method. Now you don't have to use just equals to. You can actually pull up, say you wanted the top half of individuals on the post test. So you could do this as well. Post test score is greater than the median of teaching method experiment post-test score. So now what it's reporting here are individuals who are above the median value for the post-test score. So whatever method you use to filter the data set, you'll often want to actually save this somewhere. So let's get this back to sort of a more simple one, where we're just looking at bio-sex. So now that we have this and we filtered that to save it to an R object so we can use it later, it's pretty easy. So say we wanted to name this males. It creates that new data frame over here where we can see the ID number of the participant, what teaching method they got, their biological sex, pretest, and post-test score. We click on it and open it on the data viewer. We can see that data frame here and how it only contains the male participants. Now this is particularly useful if your data is in what's called long format, as this is, where you have all of the males and all of the females stacked on top of each other, as opposed to having a post-test score for males, a post-test score for females, a post-test score for individuals who got the new teaching method, a post-test score for individuals who got the old teaching method. Rather, everything is long and stacked on top of each other, one after the other. What this lets us do is get the descriptive statistics or some other statistic for just the male group. So if we were to come over here, we could then get the mean for males on this post-test score. Oh, Control Enter, not just Enter. 78.6. And this would differ from the mean score for the overall experiment. Just a little bit. Biological sex doesn't really make a difference in this data set. However, the point's still there. This is how you use the filter function to essentially subset a data frame that you have based upon the rows. Now you can also use what's called a select function. So maybe we only wanted certain columns. Same kind of general principle. It works roughly the same way. Function is select. First argument is our data frame. Let's say we wanted to use the males data frame. And let's say we only wanted the pretest score. Second argument is the columns that we want. And it gives us just that. Now, if we wanted another column, we just add it as a second argument. So in this case, let's ask for the post-test score as well. And now it gives us both of these columns, so on and so forth, where you just list out the columns you'd actually like to keep.